Hey everyone, Chris Stoltz coming at you today from the Museum of the Moving Image in Queens. And the reason I'm here is because they're having a 35th anniversary of the Jim Henson Hour screening of Dog City and Song of the Cloud Forest. I was a huge fan of both of those as a kid, and I cannot wait to check out this screening. As always, the gift shop just has an amazing selection of Jim Henson memorabilia and things related to the exhibit upstairs, including magnets and mugs, shirts, and of course, plush and all kinds of other figurines related to Jim Henson and the Muppets, including Fraggle Rock, the ultimate visual history, and Craig Shemin's book about salmon friends. And of course, Craig Shemin is the one hosting today's event. They even have the Super 7 Electric Mayhem figures with the entire band, not Lips for some reason, but Scooter. I mean, he's the man with the van, not the contacts. And the Sesame Street figures. Also now, since the last time I've been here, they don't have the Count or the Yip Yip Martians, just Bert and Ernie. They also have these really interesting, I don't even know how to call these things. They're figures, but they're figures with multiple heads and articulation from Japan of Cookie Monster and Elmo. That's kind of cool, as well as some blank tag stickers from Sesame Street and Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock. And look who's here. It's Jamie Carroll, the famous Jamie Carroll that worked on not these action figures, but other action figures in the past that look spectacular. We all tried to get him to work on these, but Super 7 just didn't want to do it for some reason.
I live 15 minutes away.
But he did work on some of the Diamond Select figures. Oh, any of these? All of these.
I art directed
the fantastic Bean Bunny.
Gentle Giant sculpted, but I art directed these. Yes.
And what are you looking at here? What do you got? Well, I see my sticker, but I mean, what do you?
And
Jim Henson exhibition mug.
And of course, a Wembley for me, and a Ernie for my bestie.
Let's see the Wembley.
Oh, the Wembley.
So these are the new Back to the Rock.
I wanted a Boober,
stickers.
but Wembley is just too cute.
They were all out, and maybe Boober was out doing laundry or something.
I think so. He's just the most popular.
Who would have thought Boober would have been the most popular?
You can get to touching Boober because he won't let that happen. Is to get a sticker.
They should have made a side bottom one then.
They should. That's great.
And I think I'm gonna pick up Gobo. Wait, you gotta do it in order. You gotta do it in order. That's the trick, right? You gotta do it in order. And as they're dropping now. So of course, it's Gobo, Moki, Wembley, blank space for Boober, and I can't grab it, and red. Okay, obviously now I am back here in the Muppet Stuff Museum, so let me show you what I picked up. But first, I should mention why I actually went to this screening to begin with. I mean, I love the Jim Henson Hour. It was great to see Dog City and the Song of the Cloud Forest with an audience on the big screen. In case you're unfamiliar, the Jim Henson Hour was a short-lived 1989 series originally broadcast on NBC. The show was modeled after the Walt Disney Presents specials, where every week Disney would show off the latest innovations and creations of his company. Jim Henson introduced each show from an entirely CGI set.
Now I can make my entrance like I do in every show.
Most episodes were split into 30-minute segments, typically starting with Muppet Television, a modernized version of The Muppet Show. That would often lead into more serious content, including episodes of The Storyteller, a family drama like Lighthouse Island, or even a Miss Piggy special. Regular, well-known characters like Kermit, Gonzo, and Link Hogthrob were series regulars, while Rolf, Bunsen and Beaker, The Swedish Chef, Statler and Waldorf, and many others made appearances here and there. New characters introduced for the show include Digit, Vicky, Leon, Lindbergh, Clifford, and a CGI Muppet named Waldo C. Graphic. Also appearing as a series regular was Bean Bunny, who had previously starred in the 1986 special The Tale of the Bunny Picnic. Frank Oz's characters, such as Fozzie and Miss Piggy, did make sporadic appearances throughout the show. However, they were not main characters due to scheduling conflicts with Oz's directing gigs. Muppet Television would get interrupted on some occasions by a pirated signal called Guerrilla Television, run by new characters Ubo, Chip, and Zandra. The Dog City episode was inspired by C.M. Coolidge's painting of dogs playing poker. Rolf hosts the special, which is a 1930s-esque gangster-type story in which a dog named Ace U travels to Dog City to investigate his uncle's murder. Henson won an Emmy Award for outstanding directing in a variety music program for this episode. The Song of the Cloud Forest takes place in the rainforest with a golden toad named Milton that worries that he may be the last of his species. But the real reason I was there was because, as you saw, my good friend Jamie Carroll was there, who was in town celebrating his birthday. So of course I could not miss the chance to meet up with my friend. The two of us have hung out a few times in San Francisco, but this is the first time we got to hang out on the East Coast and at a Muppet event with other Muppet fans. And because Jamie was in town, we had a great group of fellow Muppet fans in attendance. During the screening, host Craig Shemin mentioned that there was a few pieces of merchandise released to promote the show, including the Jim Henson Hour lunchbox, which of course I have in my collection, which features Digit, Leon, Lindbergh, Zandra, and Ubu, who were the new Muppets introduced for the show. Sadly, I don't think it sold very well because it doesn't have Kermit or any of the other more known Muppet characters. On the lunchbox, you only see those characters popping through a TV set, but the full image also features Kermit sitting on top of the set. So it would have been nice if they photoshopped Kermit in front of the set or turning the knob or doing something so it showed that it was a real Muppet production with its most well-known star, Kermit. Craig also talked about the press kit for the show. It's a really interesting piece, not just because it's so avant-garde, but because it goes out of its way to sort of poo-poo the Muppets. The folder for the press release doesn't feature a well-known Muppet like Kermit, but Zandra. It says, it's Jim Henson's piffle-brained, palbum puffballs again. Just what American television deserves. Eck. And since Zandra is like a new wave punk, they did something really interesting with the folder and gave her an actual safety pin earring. The back of the folder features Jim Henson Productions' address and contact information, as well as the full photo featured on the lunchbox, which, as you can see, features Kermit and Jim Henson himself, with Zandra saying, "This is ridiculous." The inside flap has the Jim Henson Hour logo, and as you can see, it's signed by Craig Yo, who is the creative director for the Henson Company at the time, who also designed the folder. Okay, so now let me show you what I picked up. One of the fans there had this really interesting homemade solid foam fan club card. The card says, "Solid foam, who else would dress like this?" And says, "This card is certified and owned by blank. This is card 414 and expires 7/30/89, which was the date the last episode aired on NBC. Of course, Solid Foam was the Muppet band featured on the Jim Henson Hour, whose members included Clifford, Flash, Beard, Digit, and an unnamed female drummer.
The music just keeps on rolling along. Here I got my friends and I got my song. I'm gonna be living for the rhythm, I can't go wrong as long as the music keeps rolling along.
And speaking of fan art, our friend Will Carroll was also there, and he gave me these great prints of his artwork, including this print of Grover, Cookie Monster, one of the Yip Yip Martians, and Rosita singing Fuzzy and Blue and Orange. This print of young Jim Henson, surrounded by sketches from the early Muppet days with the quote, "My hope still is to leave the world a bit better than when I got here," which of course we all know he certainly did. He also gave me this great print featuring many characters from throughout the Henson universe, like Oscar, Boober, Rosita, Fozzie, 10 Manila Grinderfield, Beaker, Grover, Moki, Uncle Traveling Matt, Sir Didymus, Bert, Kira, Wendell from Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, a Podling, Wontkins, Gonzo, Baby Animal from the 80s Muppet Babies, Harry the Hipster from Sam and Friends, the Storyteller's Dog, Uric, Kermit, Ernie, Rolf, and Robin, sitting with Jim Henson as he reads to them from the works of A.A. Milne. In the gift shop, I picked up a whole bunch of Fraggle Rock Back to the Rock stickers by Blank Tag Company. So here we have Gobo, Moki, Wimbley, and Red. Yes, unfortunately, we're out of Boober for some reason, but while I was there, I had to pick them up. The likenesses are really well done, and I really like the subtle logo in the corner. Each sticker also has a QR code on the back that takes you to Blank Tag's website, where you can see even more of their Henson-related stickers. And did you know that Fraggle Rock was supposed to be part of the Jim Henson Hour? Yes, a proposed idea for this series was the Saga of Fraggle Rock, a Fraggle Rock origin story that sadly was never made. I also picked up the Dinosaurs Earl Sinclair Ultimates figure by NECA. This thing is just massive. I love the face of Earl on the front here, all the accessories he comes with, including a separate head and hands, a 6-pack of beer, the remote control for the TV, and his Nuts to War mug and captain's hat. The packaging on these is just incredible as well. I really like how it says it's made by the We Say So company, which of course is the evil corporate conglomerate Earl works for, pushing over trees. It's just fantastic. We Say So knows all because we say so. The back features all the different variations that you can concoct with the parts inside. Just really, really well done. And finally, my favorite things I got from the screening were not from the gift shop. They are things I already had in my collection, but that I had Jamie sign, because Jamie worked on many different Henson pieces of merchandise over the years, including 2 prints released through Acme Archives, one featuring the Electric Mayhem, and another featuring the Muppet Theater with all the Muppets kind of clamoring about outside. He also released an iconic Kermit head t-shirt featuring Kermit's face with all the other Muppets inside, as well as helping to design many of the Palisades and Diamond Select action figures. I asked Jamie which were his favorite figures to work on, and he told me Johnny Fiamma, so of course I brought a classic Johnny Fiamma figure with me, which as you can see is still brand new in its packaging. Jamie was nice enough to not only sign it for me, but also draw a small caricature of Johnny Fiamma on it as well. And while Johnny Fiamma was one of his favorite characters to work on, he told me his favorite character was this later in the line release of Gonzo, where they were able to really capture Gonzo's face. Once again, Jamie was nice enough not just to sign it, but to draw a small Gonzo caricature on it as well. And I did finally get that missing Boober sticker, so I now have a complete set. Well, that's going to do it for this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Please leave a comment down below and let me know what your favorite item from this video was. Please be sure to follow us on our social media channels, and I'll see you next time.
Kermit! Oh dear! Oh! Gee, I was kind of enjoying that.